Hi, my name is Debra R. Richardson of Debra R. Richardson LLC, and I work with you to help you clean up your vendor data, clean up your vendor processes, and pay the right vendor. Now, this week's Vendor Master File tip of the week is free vendor validation download. And I talk about vendor validations all the time, but I usually just talk about specific validations and I also always have in the description a link to download my free vendor validation reference list. But I never really talk about it on its own. And so that's what this week's Vendor Master File tip is, to give you a quick look at it. And then hopefully you'll find your way over to my website and download that. Now, I will tell you, you will be added to my subscribers list, but that means you're going to get every Tuesday an email that has lots of tips for vendor master file processes so that you can avoid fraud, avoid compliance fines, and then also just avoid bad vendor data. So let's take a look at just a quick screenshot. I know this is very tiny. You won't be able to make out any of the references, but as you can see, there are a list of validations, and there are 24 total, although there are more lines than that because some of the validations apply to information on different documents that you will receive from your vendor. So you'll see its sections, and the sections are based on the information you'll receive on that specific document. Each document is a separate section. And so you've got the IRS W-9 or W-8. Also have the banking information document, be it a bank letterhead or a company branded ACH form. And then of course you'll have the invoice as well as a contract or an SOW. And so the type of information that's on that supporting documentation is what's included in that section. And some of it, like an address, can duplicate. So there are more lines, but you have a total of 24 different validations for U.S. And I do have some on there for non-U.S. vendors as well. And what I challenge you to do is to download that free vendor validation reference list with resource links and just verify that you are validating or performing the applicable validations for your vendor. If you are only doing the IRS 10 match, there are more you need to do. If you're only doing the IRS 10 match and maybe address standardization, there are more than you need to do. Even if you are doing OFAC and OFAC only, because maybe you have a reference or resource for that. There are other watch lists out there as well. So it doesn't cost you anything. You will be added to my subscriber list, but welcome. So head on over and download this free vendor validation reference list with resource links, which means you can link right to the resource and identify if it's something that you need for your vendors. So if you would like more information on how to improve your vendor process, please go to my website, deborarrichardson.com, for free tools and resources to avoid fraud, regulatory fines, and just overall bad vendor data. So good luck, and be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to be notified next Tuesday for the next Vendor Master File tip of the week.